Joining us on the phone from San Francisco is the host of the Planet GLEE television show, and she's a musician. And say hello to Jennifer GLEE. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello. Should I call you Bloody?
You may.
Okay.
And
hi, Sister Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for taking your time out to come on the show this evening. We appreciate it.
Oh, I love it. I love you on the show. I love your show. It's really good.
Thank you so much.
Neil Diamond song cracks me up.
I got a couple other comments that said the same thing.
I was surfing through YouTube about 6 months or a year ago, I don't know, and I'm always looking for interesting content like most of us are, and I found a show called Planet GLEE, and I became a subscriber, and I started sending messages to the host, which is Jennifer GLEE, and she had me as a guest on her show, and I thought, I'm going to have her as a guest on my show. So can you tell me the history of Planet GLEE and how that started?
Yeah. I started with public access here in San Francisco in 2003. I was introduced to a San Francisco Access TV show host called Bro Judd Presmont, and his show was called Bro Judd on Love Energy. And I watched Bro Judd on Love Energy just by chance, and he dedicated the show to the sexiest man alive, who was Rocco Siffredi, an Italian porn star. And I was like, this is bizarre, right? This is great. So I got to know Judd. He lived in the Mission District, was near where I was living. I went on his show, I played music, and then after a while I was reading, we did the show once a month, and we had a band called the Bargain Basement Band, which still exists here in San Francisco. And I played guitar with them, and I was on every Bro Judd show. And then in 2007, San Francisco Public Access started these live shows. And so I pitched Planet GLEE. I'm really interested in astrology. I studied Western first, and then Indian astrology, sidereal astrology. So I was really into the planets. So the GLEE came from, I don't know if you're familiar with GLEE gum.
I am.
Yeah, that's how I got it. My friend was saying, you've got to have a name. They call it the lower thirds on TV, where your name comes up and what you do and all that.
Right.
And I was like, oh no, I'm not using my real name. I'm going to use, I got this gum. Hey, Jennifer GLEE, why not? So it stuck. Yeah, and then Planet GLEE came, and the first year, was started in November 2007. The first year, 2008, we were all getting crank calls at the station. We had all these live shows where everybody had to take a call. You were required to take a call. And that was supposed to be the interactive fun of it, which it was. But there's a musician here in San Francisco. His name is Chaki, Chaki. And at the time, he had just moved up here from Southern Cal, and he was calling into Planet GLEE every week and asking to jam with me and my guests. And then he has a couple of videos on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen those. Corey Prank Calls, San Francisco Public Access.
I have not.
But that's from our first year. Yeah. He was prank calling us all the time.
Also,
fun.
And besides Planet GLEE, you're a musician. What instruments do you play, Jennifer?
I started out playing guitar like everybody. I was a roommate of the he should be more well known, Snake Finger. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Not offhand.
Okay, he was a left-handed lead guitar player from London who was friends with Elvis Costello, and he moved here to San Francisco, had a child. Her name is Lonnie Mae. She has a band here in San Francisco called Girls with Guns, and he had this warehouse in the Mission with all these instruments, and I learned to play guitar there. And then I started playing with Electric Death Poppies. I played
Nice.
bass with them, and then played rhythm guitar and sang with Martyr Mia. This is in the 90s. And then in the 2000s, I played tabla. I started playing tabla after going to see Amma and seeing that her tabla players were both women. Um, and I was like, I can do that. So I went to an Indian classical show here in the city and saw this tabla player who looked familiar, and I started studying with him. And yeah, I started not without my own tabla, but then I bought the drums and got more into it, and met an Indian guy who was like a prodigy, and he taught me all the beat systems. And so I played tabla with a band called Bhakti. We had a didge and a guitar and tabla. And then 2014, I was playing guitar and bass in a band called Scarlet Experiment. And the lead guitar player from that band is Ian Caporali, who is a recent Oregon resident. He moved up there from here. But he's the main guitar player with Scarlet Experiment and the Jonathan Noel Joaquin SoundCloud page.
I see. And who are some of your personal favorite bands? I know you seem to like a lot of the 80s punk rock. So I just wondered, like, what comes to mind right away when I say what are some of your favorite bands?
Well, right now I'm on a Lane Staley. I'm like obsessed with Lane Staley. And
Sister Tracy's a big fan of Alice in Chains as well.
Yeah, I'm a big Lane fan. I saw them on their very, very first tour many, many years ago, and was just a big fan of Lane's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so lucky. I never got to see them. I was so in love with them, and I was studying to be a teacher, right? Studying to be a teacher, and I'm a total Alice in Chains fan. And, people from my teaching credential program came over to the house, and I'd be playing Alice in Chains, and it's like,
Didn't expect that.
That's
Lane
so Lane is one of your
amazing.
favorites. Anybody else that is close to your heart?
Oh yeah, Dinosaur Jr.
I saw Jay Mascis on your Planet Glee TV show, by the way. That was a pretty cool episode. There's a couple episodes.
Thank you. I saw him for the first time. Saw them at Slim's, which is it's a 200 people venue here. So yeah, it was pretty small. I was in the front with my iPhone, got my ears totally blown out because Jay plays the muff so loud. You would not believe how loud he is. It's so cool. But he's an Amma devotee.
Well, you're the one that turned me on to the fact that he's an Amma devotee. And then today, earlier on my other radio show, which is selfless plug here, but Earth Heart Radio, my guest today was an Amma devotee, and we played a track from the Jay Mascis album that's for Amma. So,
cool.
So thank you for turning me on to that.
Oh yeah, it's weird. I started going to see her in 2002, and I just got so obsessed. I was always, every morning I would get up before I went to work and go to Amma's page just to see what she was saying for the day. It was in the 2000s. I was really, really into Amma, and I have a blog, and I would write about Amma and I'd write about films, but I was just mainly trying to be more self-reflective, because seeing Amma, I was like, wow, she's just so otherworldly, right?
She is so otherworldly. That's a good way to put it. Your phone is cutting out pretty badly.
Again?
Well, it's been kind of spotty here and there throughout the interview, but for the most part, it was okay. I do want to say we are moving to a new location soon, so why don't we talk to you down the road and do like a part 2 when we can have a better reception, perhaps.
Oh, that sounds really good. I was almost going to ask a friend if I could do it from their place, because my phone has so much trouble in this place. San Francisco is like, this is one of the old Victorians, It doesn't even have heat, yo.
Oh no, man. Well, I'll tell you what, you got more gusto than I do. My friends, you're listening to Jennifer GLEE from Planet GLEE TV show on the Church of Rock. Before I let you go, Jennifer, and hopefully we can hear you clearly, how can folks tune in if they would like to hear or see, check it on the internet, Planet GLEE TV? How do they do that?
Okay, thanks for asking. On Monday night at 10:30 p.m. is Planet Glee's called Playback Time. And so Planet Glee is always on 10:30 on Mondays, 10:30 p.m. on Mondays. And there we have two television channels. One is 29 and the other one's 76. So you just have to go to BAVC, which is the Bay Area Video Coalition.org, and both channels come up. And on 10:30 on Mondays is channel 29 for Planet Glee. And then this Tuesday, I'm interviewing Federico Vardal, the Fellini actor.
Oh,
I don't know
cool.
if you saw any of the
Yeah.
interviews I've done with him.
I haven't,
Have
but I totally know when you say Fellini, like what you're talking about, and I'm definitely intrigued.
Cool, cool, Tracy, because he is one of my favorite people in San Francisco. He doesn't live here all year round. He has another residence in Cairo. And so he lives here in Cairo. He's a fascinating person. And we're going to be talking about not only Fellini, but Pasolini and Rossellini. And Pasolini was a Marxist, and Rossellini has a very, kind of earth-shattering thing to say about Marx that people don't know. And so we're going to be talking about, Fellini, but also Pasolini, Marx, and Rossellini. So a lot
Awesome.
on Tuesday at 6:30
At
on channel
6:30.
76.
Ladies
That's
and gentlemen, that is the word. You heard it from the woman herself from Planet Glee. It is Jennifer Glee. Jennifer, thanks a million for joining us, and we hope to have you back on down the road.
I am so honored, Bloody and
Yeah.
Tracy. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, and thank you.
Joy Ma, have a grand evening in that cold Victorian.
Thank you.
Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
There you have it, Sister Tracy. Another interesting interview with another interesting human being on the Church of Rock.